Hello, so today I will be reading Teardown books 1 through 12, I think. Yeah, so, by the way, Teardown is a series that I made. It's a really good one. It's probably the biggest series I've ever made, but I'm just going to read it to you, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, guys, for some reason I can't find the first book. I'm going to have to read that maybe in a different video. I don't even know if I'm going to do a different video, but I'm just gonna read you 2 through 12. I mean, some of the books are missing. I don't really know where they are. I mean, I can look through my bag, but I don't think that they're... But for now, I'll just read you 2 through 12, yeah. So let's get started. So... I'll just find book 2 because I can't find book 1. Okay. No, not that one. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Oh my god. Okay, here. Here is book 2. It's called Teardown, book 2, Ricky's Revenge. So in the first book, basically, I'll just tell you in the first book what happened. So basically, Ricky makes this giant robot, Among Us character, and basically, the Teardown brothers kind of destroy it with cars. So yeah, that's basically what happens. So this is the second book, Ricky's Revenge. By the way, Ricky is the main villain. He's there will be more villains later in the books. It's Ricky for now. Ricky and the Teardown Bros. Okay. Once upon a time, the Teardown brothers had their own plane. It was a passenger plane. It could carry about 200 passengers, and Ricky was not happy, so he made a helicopter to come destroy them. There's Ricky. That's the Teardown's airplane. That's his helicopter thingy. He was angry because we destroyed his Among Us robot, so now he wanted revenge, but this time in the air. Chopper, chopper, chopper. Then the Teardown brothers came to attack. So yeah, that's the Teardown plane, that's his thing. Then Ricky shot his bullets at the Teardown brothers, but they had a plan. They were going to try to go over Ricky and drop missiles on him. Pew pew. Ricky shot at their engine. But what he didn't know was that planes could fly with one engine. Then a little later, the Teardown brothers went over the helicopter and dropped missiles on it, and it crashed to the ground. Curse you! Bye, Ricky. But Ricky was not alone. He went to his lab and made a Ricky fighter jet. Then he came to destroy them. But Ricky didn't think it all the way through, so they just dropped another bomb on him. But Ricky had one more trick up his sleeve. While he was making the plane, he also made a gun called the Tornado Spawner. Then he spawned a tornado in. Then the tornado sucked up the Teardown brothers' plane, so it crashed to the ground, and Ricky came to get them. That's it! But the Teardown brothers punched him and ran away to the next chapter. Grr. And then after every book, it just says, find out what happens next in our Teardown series. And that's what it looks like on the back. So that was the second book. Now here's the third one. Teardown, book 3, The Train Escape. The Teardown brothers had their own diesel train. It was called the Teardown Express. Ricky was mad that he got away in the last book, so he decided to come back. Down, he's coming. Who, Ricky? Then Ricky found a steam train and took it. He went back to his lab and attached a gun to it. Bam! Ricky chased him for 2 miles, then it started shooting it. But the Teardown brothers had their own gun, too. They found a car that was used in the military, and to our surprise, it actually worked and still had ammo in it. So they saw frozen light covering the train tracks. They were heading towards the lake very fast. Right when the train hit the ice, it ran out of control and flipped on its side. Then Ricky saw the lake and said the Teardown brothers would never flip the train on a frozen lake, so he went the other way. Then he made an airplane out of the scraps of the train. The ice almost broke under them and actually flew like a plane. To be continued. And then boom, done. Book 4. Ricky's Lab. Once upon a time, Ricky was carrying scraps from his robots back to his lab, and the teardown brothers secretly hopped on the train and followed Ricky back to his lab. Then they found his lab. That's it. Find a key. Then they went in. They found a sign that says, "Find the key to open the door." They could hear them planning on the other side. They wanted to barge in, but they heard a different voice. But Ricky's friend Mark was so dumb that he left the door open to go into the workshop. So then they went inside, but they didn't know how to control it, so they just went away. Whoa. But while they were walking down the hallway, Ricky was going to go show Mark his new robot, but then they met. So Ricky then grabbed them and put them in jail. But Mark went in the robot and accidentally blew a hole in the wall, and it hit right in front of a lake and water spilled everywhere. But Mark was dumb, so he put an axe in the jail so they could get out. So then they jumped out from the hole and escaped, and after all, the water cleared. And then all the water cleared. Ha! Mark. Mark! And then that's the end. Book 5. Here we go. Teardown, Book 5, Police Chase. By the way, this is a really good one. Once upon a time, Ricky and Mark were going way over the speed limit when they passed the Teardown brothers, and then the Teardown brothers started to chase them. Ricky and Mark had a tasty cola van, and the Teardown brothers had a police car. Mark was on top, and Ricky was driving. In the last book, Ricky was still mad at Mark for destroying his lab, but then the Teardown brothers bumped into them into a lake. Good. Screech! But they went into a puddle. But they went into a public parking spot and took a car, smashing through the window, and drove away. But the car was a monster truck. Vroom. So the Teardown brothers came with their police car, but Ricky and Mark came and crushed their police car. Then they jumped out. But the monster truck kept going, so they were stuck on the windshield. But Ricky and Mark went as fast as they could, and then jumped out and left the Teardown brothers to deal with it. Kaboom! Then they both went back to their lab, but even though it was destroyed, they could still make stuff. And they came out with a truck with a laser on it. Crash, boom. And now, time for the epic battle. Ricky pressed a laser on it and it electrocuted them. Ha 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 ha. But right after they got shot, they quickly jumped on top of the gun and grabbed Mark and plugged him in the gun and shot him out. The end. And that was it. Now book 6, A Spidery Situation. One day the Teardown brothers landed a space shuttle into Ricky's airbase. But Ricky wanted to get revenge, so he made a giant spider to destroy them. But this time he was serious. Mark, get over here. Then Ricky was very mad and he remembered his lab and went back there to get the scraps to make the spider. Yes. Ricky even said it would be the biggest and most strongest robot ever, but it was not. This is the biggest and strongest robot ever. Then the battle begun. Mark set off the sticky webs and got them. They did not know what to do, so they had an idea. They wanted to get a tank, so they broke free and got a tank. They got the tank and kept shooting it, but Lucky's spider was too strong. Boom! But then Lucky got the tank stuck in a web. The teardown bros were in trouble. But what Lucky didn't know was that the teardown brothers had a big plan. Just for this, they had a big container of slime. They had shot it at the beginning of the book, and it was spilling out to this moment. And then it reached Lucky's spider, and it sunk in the slime, jamming up its gears. No! Then the teardown brothers won and went back home. The end. And that's end. Book 7. Meteor Bunker. One day we see Lucky walking down the street, and then the teardown bros wanted to pull a prank on Lucky, so when he went inside his planning room, there would be tripwire, and when he touches it, then a cake would fall on him. Mark, get back here now! So that's what they did, but Lucky got mad at them for that, and made a deal with the teardown bros. He said that if they could make a strong bunker against his meteor gun and survive, then the teardown bros wouldn't attack each other for a long time, and they agreed. Yes, we will. So they started and got the most strongest materials to survive against his meteor gun, and they were ready. Then they got in. Ready. Then he shot it. Go! But it did survive the first wave, but Lucky thought it wouldn't survive the second wave, but it did. What? Haha. He tried the third, fourth, and fifth wave, but it was still too strong. How is this happening? Yeah! And then punched Mark and ran away. Then they punched Mark and ran away. Oof. The end. Okay, that was book 7. Now this is book 8, The Flood. One day the teardown bros were sleeping. When they woke up, they looked out the window. Then they went outside and saw Mark chasing Lucky with the tsunami gun. He was riding a tsunami. I just wanted to try out the gun. Mark, what are you doing? Meanwhile, Grandma was sleeping. She woke up. Ring. Mark smashed the tsunami into all the buildings and destroyed many homes. He was not stopping. Ah! Slip, smash. Then Lucky found Mark. Mark! Oof. But Mark got away, and Lucky and Grandma were chasing him back to the lab. Ah! But while they were chasing him, Mark accidentally dropped the tsunami gun and radioactive waste. And Lucky made that waste so that anything that falls in it isn't alive. Any live will become alive. Oh, poop. Mark! And out came a big radioactive shark. The shark jumped out of the waste and onto land and started attacking. Nom nom. But Lucky and Grandma had to stop this, so they went back to Lucky's lab and made the mega robot shark. Yes. The big mega robot shark then came face to face with the radioactive shark. It was time for the epic battle. The mecha shark had a big laser and hit it at the radioactive shark, just like Godzilla. Grr. Soon the radioactive shark had been defeated. The shark was dead, but Mega Shark was not. That's the end. Now, Book 9. Mecha Shark Strikes Back. In the last book, the Mecha Shark killed the radioactive shark in a big battle. Now he strikes back, and he was on evil mode, attacking everybody in the city and smashing many buildings. But Lucky had to stop this. They wanted to turn into a big monster to kill it, then turn back into a regular human. Yes. Then they went to face the big mecha robot shark. They drank a poison that had all powers and went to kill the big shark. The Pterodon bros wanted to help, so they got up and drank a potion too. Then the four went to handle the shark. They punched the shark in the face, activating the laser. The laser then hit a building, crashing down on Mecha Shark. Now it was just a building. Yay! But no one knew what was coming to them. Grr. It had tentacles coming out of its mouth, and it sucked them up into a portal. Ah! But they all didn't know where they were. Wait, is that a grandpa? Ah! That was book 9. This is book 10, Baby Trouble. One day the Pterodon bros and the others were running from Grandpa, and Grandpa had a baby formula to turn them into babies. Then they all went in Grandpa's house. They were cornered, and soon they were all babies except Grandpa. And they could still talk, but Grandpa heard baby noises. Then they made a plan to escape. They were trying to be as reckless as they could so Grandpa would kick them out. Then it started. They smashed vases, TVs, toys, books, tables, glass, and more. But Grandpa was not fooled. He picked up everything and called the fix guys to fix the house, and soon it was clean. Wah! Brand new. But then Lucky had an idea. I'm only doing this for you guys. After this, we're going back to our normal cool selves, said Lucky. I'm only doing this for you. Let's do this, babies. Boom. Ah. Boom. But they went a little bit far because they literally almost destroyed Grandpa. That's a way out. I quit. Soon they went out of Grandpa's house. And turned back into humans, not babies. I'm free. Yes. Okay, so that was book 10. Now this is book 11. Teardown, book 11, the army strike. Ricky was very mad at the Pterodon bros for, well, not really any reason, but he's Ricky, you would get it. But Ricky got an idea. He would ask the Russians to stop fighting Ukraine and come and kill the Teardown brothers. I got an idea. Good. So then it happened. The Russians came and met Ricky and Mark and did the plan. They were going to do an ambush attack. Then they got ready. Woo, gotta jog. Bam! Ha! Pew, pew, pew. Wah! Ah! The Pterodon bros then went home and called all the army forces that were on their sides. And soon enough, they had a big army. It was a battlefield in the park. Brr. Russia / Mark and Ricky versus Pterodon bros in Japan and Germany and more. Then the battle began. The Russians got an airplane to drop on them. It worked, killing most of the Japan soldiers on the battlefield. Boom! Yeah! But then they all got revenge. Ah! Boom! But they wouldn't give up. Boom! Now, Ricky said, drop those bombs. We just did. Just do it again. Wait, no, not on me. Shoot. Yeah. Boom. This is just baloney. You can say that again. And that was the end. Now, this is the last book of this series. Well, it's not the last book of the series because I'm making a lot more. I also made more than this. I'm just reading you the ones that I have right now. Okay, Teardown, book 12, Flame. There once was this guy named Flame. He loved reading the Teardown series of books, but only because Ricky and Mark were in it. One day they met up, and Flame became an enemy of the Teardown Bros and was with Ricky and Mark. And then there was Daryl. He was a cop and the police at the police station and helped out the Teardown Bros. Then one day, they all wanted to attack Daryl and the Teardown Bros with the master plan. They had a big robot that was going to destroy the city and rule the world. Stomp. Then they came into the city. The Teardown Bros heard the news and got a big tank to destroy the robot. Roar! Boom! But then the big robot grabbed the tank and threw it, and it smashed on the ground. But before any of that happened, the Teardown Bros and Daryl had a bomb plan set up. They were going to lead the robot to Ricky's base and it will explode, destroying the robot. But then Ricky got out of the robot and said Flame could drive. Then he got the Mega Smasher 2000. Chomp, chomp. Then everyone chased Daryl down and tear. Roar, chomp, chomp. There was just enough time to run and grab the stick with the fire, then light it and get out of here. Then, chomp, 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 snap, kaboom! Help! The end. So that is the end of the series that I have right now. I told you already what number 1 is, so you shouldn't have a problem with that. Anyways, guys, bye. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry, guys. Bye.